Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are across the world. Welcome to Live a Phenomenal Life Show with me, your host, Madame Merola. It is a beautiful Monday. It is a glorious day to be alive and well, and of course, to be inspired, empowered, and transformed, one show at a time. Welcome. It's so good to have you guys here. I don't know wherever you are, wherever you're joining me from, but please say hi to me. And if this is your first time, let me know so I can do a special shout out to you. Today is season 5, episode 11, and I'm going to be talking about the power of reflection and self assessment with a fabulous guest all the way from South Africa. Her name is Dr. Nthabeleng Rammile, and we are going to have a great time today sharing our thoughts and wisdom about the things that has gone down this year 2021, the things that we are glad about, the things we know we need to work on, and of course, what we are expecting for year 2021. Why? Because they say that the earnest expectation of a righteous man availeth much. We need to have expectations for the year to come. We also need to be able to reflect on the things that we've done in the past that we need to course correct so that we can do better. Why? Because we grow, we evolve, we always seek to be better than what we are currently at level at. So, of course, we must reflect to be able to ensure that we have a right view and a bird's eye view of what we've done so that we can start to say that, okay, this worked, let's keep pushing on that. And then some things are like sacred cows that needs to be killed and not to be returned back to ever again. So welcome, guys. It's so awesome to have you guys here. Please do introduce yourself. Let me know where you're calling from, where you're logging in from, and I would love to say hi to you. And of course, my guest is already in the backstage waiting to be introduced so that we can kickstart the show. But you know that I'm not going to start until you guys say hi to me and, of course, also engage with me. I want to know, what is your one word for this week? That is a tradition we have on this show, whereby we have one word that helps us to stay focused on what we want to achieve for this week. So last week it was joyful, and we started the Be Joyful Challenge on Monday last week, and it's been awesome. It's day 8 already. Those that have been part of the Joyful Challenge can tell you that it has really been life transforming. It has allowed us to also reorientate our minds to think things that are great, things that are positive, and of course, be filled with joy. Hi, Gloria Takawira from Zambia. It's great to have you here, sister. Season's greetings to you. So, of course, as I said, we need to have our one word for the week. So I would love for you guys to type on the screen, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, what your one word is for this week. Because we all need to be able to remember exactly the reason why we do what we do. So I've got many people sharing with me where they're logging in from. This is Zandile from Bloemfontein, if I get that correctly, Bloemfontein in South Africa. Welcome. Yes, I guess as much. Bloemfontein in South Africa. It's great to have you here. Welcome. I am sure these are all part of Ntavi's crew because she's a South African lady, and I know that she's got her people supporting her. So as you guys are logged on, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, use the share button to send this video to your friends, to your tribe, to other people on your feed so that they can also join in with us live today. So, once again, welcome to Live a Phenomenal Life Show. My name is Madame Merola. I'm known as the Bang Creator because what I do is I ignite the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. Yes, not anyone else, but you, the people that make the time to show up. So we've got so many people logging in. Shout out to you, Dr. Nthabeleng from Zandile. We've also got, wow, quite a lot of people. Normal Luby, I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well, from Bloemfontein in South Africa as well. We've got as well Sibogile. Hello, everyone joining from Cape Town. Welcome to all my South African sisters that are logging in. It's a pleasure to have all of you here to support Dr. Nkabi and, of course, to this is your first time on the show, we love you, we appreciate you, and I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome time. So, without wasting too much time, let me show you the picture of the person that's going to be joining me as I read a bio, and then we can bring her on stage and get the show started. So, if you guys are ready to have an awesome time, let me know, send me some emojis or whatever comments, and I can see them and also engage with you. So, yes, yes, yes. That's Dr. Nthabeleng Rammile. So let me read her bio for you guys. Just a little bit about who she is, because she's also going to share with us a bit more about who she is, and then we get started. Dr. Rammile is a sought after speaker and is regularly invited by churches, government, private sector, and the community at large to inspire, motivate, and impact exceptional knowledge and experience. As a professional personal brand coach, Dr. Rammile offers various services to conceptualize, develop, and maintain personal brands, including one on one sessions, personal brand online courses, mentoring programs, and a writing club that assists clients to research, conceptualize, and compose a business card book. Dr. Rammile was the first woman and Black person to be elected vice chairperson of council at the UFS 2017 to 2019 and has served on several committees since. She holds a bachelor's, honors, and master's degree in personal leadership and marketing and a PhD in brand management. She is also a qualified executive and management coach and a stylist. In addition to producing and presenting various research papers on branding internationally, she has lectured at the University of the Free State, the University of Washington in Tacoma, and Bremen University in Germany. Dr. Rammile is also co-senior pastor at Global Reconciliation Church, overseeing the women's ministry, and is a member of chaplaincy at the Central University of Technology. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready? Because it's about to go down. Woohoo! Welcome on stage with me, Dr. Nthabeleng Rammile.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you, Madame Merola. I appreciate this opportunity. I think you are amazing. You are incredible. I've learned already so many things from you in a short space of time. But just being on this platform is such an honor for me. And thank you, everybody, for making time to join us. Merola, I've adopted her. She's my sister. She's my friend already. We just clicked like that when we met. And I celebrate you. I celebrate what you are doing, what you've done, especially what you're about to do. And having you in my country, in my space, is an incredible pleasure. And I look forward to what we'll be doing together.
Yes, thank you so much. And of course, it is an absolute honor to be able to meet you and also get you to be a first-time guest on Live a Phenomenal Live Show. As I always say that, God always orchestrates people's paths to be able to come across each other. And I was praying for a fantastic guest to end the season with on the for this year. And we crossed paths, and when I asked you, you said yes, I'll come on. So I'm so glad that you're the last guest for 2021 before we get new guests again for 2022. So thank you so much, Dr. Rammile. I don't take it for granted that you're here with me. So as I say, it is season 5, episode 11 today. And as you can see, my gorgeous guest from South Africa, Dr. Nthabi, in short, is here. And we're going to be talking about the power of reflection and self assessment. Okay. So before we do that, we also have a tradition here on this show, which is to share affirmations. Okay. So we are both Christians and we also believe in the power of positive thinking and the power of positive words. So I have here a box that's got 52 cards. So I'm going to bring them out, I'm going to shuffle it and allow the Holy Spirit to just give us the best 5 cards needed for us today. So I'm shuffling them so that you guys don't think Madame Merola picked them in advance. And I'm just going to randomly select any five that I'm going to read out to you guys today. Okay. So after that, Dr. Nthabeleng is going to share an information with us as well. And then we will get started on the topic of the day. So I've got my five cards out here. So we've got more greetings. So let me just put that up while I'm getting my cards put the right way. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite ones. So yes, I'm so excited. Okay, Ira Rev says, welcome, Dr. Rammile. If Madame Merola invited you to close up the year, expect great things. Looking forward to hearing from you. Oh, trust me, Ira Rev, she's going to deliver because she's got the backing of the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah. Okay, so the first card is my favorite, absolute favorite affirmation card that I've written. And this is something I say to myself every single day. So I would love you guys to adopt this for yourself because you will love it. So it says, I am equal to all, inferior to none. I am living my life as my most authentic self, and I dazzle in my originality. Woo! Don't you just love that,
Wow.
Dr. Nthabeleng?
Oh, that is incredible. Awesome.
Yes, the second card says, I have a great self image. I have a high self esteem. I embrace my true identity. I love myself and I'm always true to myself. I am me, and that's the best person for me to
Ooh,
be. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Woo!
Be you
The
all the
next
way.
card says, love it, right? The next
Mm,
card says, card number three. With each new minute, I feel new positive energy within me, and they
mm.
give me strength to keep growing and building. I embrace change wholeheartedly. Yes, yes, yes. Woo!
Wow.
The fourth card says, in life, all things happen for my highest good. I'm a
Ooh.
fast learner and make all experiences work for me. I learn the valuable lessons life offers me to grow. Isn't that just apt for what we're talking about today? Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then the
Excellent.
final card says, I take risk with ease. I go beyond my comfort zone and stretch towards the higher and better version of myself. I
Mm.
am bodacious. Yay!
Yep. Audacious. Audacious.
Yes.
Audacious. Yeah.
Yes, I love this particular word, bodacious, because for those of you that have never heard it before, bodacious is two words together, bold and audacious. So it's a one thing to be bold, it's another thing to be audacious. Well, when you combine it together, it now forms a new word called bodacious. So yes,
Ah,
I am bodacious. I'll put that on
okay.
the screen so you guys can see it. But Dr. Ramil, it's your turn now. I've shared my five cards. What is your affirmation for us this morning?
Okay. I have an affirmation that I live by, and I'm always
Okay.
sharing this with my clients and audiences wherever I go. So I say that people will people will believe in you to an extent that you believe in yourself.
Come on
So
now.
that means you owe it to yourself and your audience to believe in yourself. And whatever that you produce should be coming from that place of self belief, ownership, and confidence. So nobody will buy anything that you have not believed in yourself first. And you cannot believe in what you are producing until you believe in yourself. So
Right
that is
on.
core, that is foundational. So when you believe in yourself, others will believe in you. So don't walk around waiting for people to believe in you first before you believe in
Hmm.
yourself. So it works the other way around. And then I have a second affirmation, and I say, don't be stuck in personalities, lest you lose the benefits of gifts. So everybody has got a different personality and different giftings. But many times I see some people missing out on giftings because they are stuck on personalities. Everybody has got a personality flaw, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like a coin. Every coin has got two sides, and the
Okay.
side you choose to be stuck on will determine what becomes of you. So choose to be stuck on the side that works for you. So don't miss out on people's giftings because of personalities. Go for what works for you and what makes you a better person. Yeah, those are
Yes.
my two.
Love it. Love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Don't be stuck in personalities lest you lose the benefits of giftings. I mean, absolutely. We are all gifted people, and our giftedness is tied with our purpose. And
Yes.
therefore, if we lose focus of the fact that we all have unique parts that we have to work in this earth, and that no gift is inferior to another,
Yes.
hence why that affirmation that I shared is my favorite, because it says, I am equal to all, inferior to none, meaning that it doesn't matter what someone else has. It's not better than what I have, because what God has given me is perfectly for me and perfectly suited for my journey, for my purpose. So we shouldn't look down on any of our giftings, or begin to say, oh, mine is not as attractive or as lucrative. No, every single gift is super super vital, because God is not in the business of doing average.
Yes.
He is not in the business of making mistakes. And whatever He's put in you, He did not put it there just for the sake of putting it. He put it there with purpose and with a necessary timing as well. So use your gifts wisely. Thank you so
Oh
much,
yeah.
Dr. Nthabeleng. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So once
Thank you.
again, Prolong has shared that as well. The same thing, don't be stuck on personalities. Okay. So now that we've got all the preambles out of the way, Dr. Nkabi, can you share with us a little bit of your backstory? As in, we'd just love to get to know you a bit more than what your bio shared with us. We already know that you have a PhD in brand management. You're also a co-pastor. So just tell us what led you to this path, and how did you start to say that, okay, I found my calling and I want to start to, share on the point of view of being a brand management consultant as well as a minister.
Mhm.
So share your backstory with us for the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity, Merola, once more. My journey and my story is actually an interesting one, because when I was growing up, I knew what I wanted to be, but I couldn't put it in words. And number two, when I went through all career resources I could find then, I couldn't find what I wanted to do. So I went to the university, and I was interested in marketing, as in business. I was interested in business. I was interested in psychology and spirituality. And when I looked at all the programs on campus, I couldn't find one that brought all three together. So in a way, I found myself in marketing. Oh yeah, and the fourth thing that I loved is creativity. I'm a creative spirit, and I love variety. I don't like one thing. I'm a fruit salad. You know, in a fruit salad, you find a bit of everything. So that's me. I want to be creative. I want to be spiritual. I love business, and I love studying behavior. So I started with marketing because marketing gave me an opportunity to be creative. It gave me an opportunity to look at business. And number
Mm-hmm.
three, it gave me an opportunity to understand the psychological makeup of people and how marketing influences behavior and vice versa. How does behavior influence marketing? So that's why I chose the degrees that I did. They gave me these three things, but then one thing was lacking, which is spirituality. So I'm a pastor, I'm a co-senior pastor. I love people, I love the word of God, I love praying for people. So I was at the university, I finished my studies, and when I was busy with my master's, I went into lecturing, which I did for 12 years. And then I resigned after 12 years to do ministry full time. However, in the process, I finally landed in coaching. And coaching is the one space that allows me to bring all these aspects of the fruit
Mm.
salad for me. And as I said, when I was younger, I never found any career guidance resource that spoke about coaching. And I realized later that what I've always desired was to coach, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
popular. I don't know about you, Merola, but when I was growing up, coaching was not one of the options. But I'm so glad because I feel that everything that I have done was preparing me to be in this space. Because as a coach,
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to be creative. I'm able to tap into the spiritual component. I'm able to handle business principles and incorporate the psychological wiring of people to help others pursue their goals and be successful. So that is my story as far as work is concerned. And it has been a journey. I've had to trust God because I didn't have any role models. I didn't have a point of reference except God had to be
Mm-hmm.
my point of reference. I didn't have people I could talk to. It's only later that I'm meeting people like Merola and others that are in the same space. But before that time, I had to walk by faith. And outside of that,
That's right.
I am a wife. I'm a mommy. Mommy is one of my favorite titles. I have two children. I have a son. I have a daughter. So I am a family person. Whatever that I do is for my family and for other families and individuals. So, in short, that's how my journey has been, and it has been incredible, phenomenal. And when it's continuing, I love now how I'm beginning to connect with great people. Look at you all the way in Nigeria. To those of you that are listening, Merola is amazing. I have been spending time the whole week looking into what she does, what she offers. There's an incredible personal branding book that's going to come up, but I know we'll talk later about that. But you are phenomenal, and I like you. I love what you do, and the way you are impacting destinies is amazing. Yeah.
Remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. And of course, just a glimpse of how you became this phenomenal woman. I am so inspired. And it really just makes me feel gratified to know that in the world, when you think that the journeys that you're going on that seems lonely because nobody else is going through it, isn't it just heartwarming to find other people in different spaces that I've also walked a similar path. We never met before, but then
Mm.
once we started talking, we realized that we're so similar on many
Yeah.
levels, that we're both multi-potentialites. We both have history of being in marketing, and we're both personal branding specialists. We're also ministers of the gospel. We're both moms to two children, a boy and a girl. So many things are so similar, and
Yeah, that's
I
amazing.
just love the fact that there are many people that are blazing the trail, the many people that are able to find clarity in the midst of all the confusion and all the
Yeah.
noises out there and still find their path because of the fact that they held on to God, right? So you and I were so similar. We allowed God to direct our path, to say that do
Yes.
this at each point in our lives, even when it didn't make sense to
Yes.
people. We
Mm.
still went on and did it anyways, and we're beginning to bear the fruit of it now. So I don't know whoever is listening right now. You might find yourself at a crossroad in life. You might find yourself at a point whereby what you've been doing is no more sufficient for you, and you're getting that restless urge within you. This is a great show for you to be on, because you're looking at two women that have also gone through that same journey. And we are living our purpose now because we were able to say yes to that siren call, to that nudging within our spirit that said, go this
Mm.
way. Even though it doesn't seem like a popular route, even though you might not have all the answers, if you believe in God and have
Mm.
faith in Him, trust that He will not lead you astray. He will not send you where he has not prepared you for, so that you will live a life of purpose that will bring you the greatest fulfillment and joy that nothing else in this world can give you. That is what I would love to say to anyone that's listening right now that is going like, oh, Madame Merola, I don't know what to do. The year's ended. I don't know what I should do for
Yes.
next year. Should I stay in this job? Should I keep on running this business that is sucking the life out of me and stuff? Go to God in prayer.
Yes.
Let God direct you. And whatever He says, just say yes and go for it. And of course, you've got Dr. Nthabeleng and I to be able to coach you and walk with you on this path of
Mm.
journey that you're going to take. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So before I
Awesome.
ask you about why we need to reflect, I would love to just hear what is your own definition of phenomenal living? What do you think it means to live a phenomenal life? Because we
Yeah.
are on the show, live a phenomenal life.
Yeah. Great question to start with. And for me, a phenomenal life is a life that is lived authentically, that
Hmm.
is purpose driven, and lived in a thriving environment. So for me, these three components are important. By authenticity, I mean live your life in a way that you are yourself, where you don't have to pretend to be what you are not, where you don't have to pretend to have what you don't have, but you are yourself, genuinely so. And it is when you are yourself genuinely that you can pursue your purpose. You cannot pursue your purpose if you are not authentic. And that purpose is enabled by a thriving environment. And by a thriving environment, I don't mean an environment that is comfortable. I simply mean an environment that allows you to grow, an environment that stretches you, and an environment that allows you to discover who you really are. So for me, these three components make up a life to be phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you. I love it. Oh my gosh. Where have you been all my life? I love your three components. They sit so well in the pocket for me, especially the part about authenticity is so important. You can't live a phenomenal life trying to be something you are not or be something you're not called to do. It
Yes.
just doesn't work. And that's what many of us have found ourselves stuck in. Like we've been climbing a ladder that was not meant for us. And we now get to the top of the tree and we're like, oopsie, this is the way I'm called to. Then you need to get down that ladder and go look for your own
Yes.
tree. So you need to find your what I call your zone of genius and also your place of habitat
Wow.
because there's a different thing to find your zone of genius. There's also a specific location and place and people that will
Mm.
need what you have to offer. So it's not everybody that gets to benefit from what you do. It's so key
Yes.
to know that yes, I have my gifts, I have my talents, I have my experience, I have my story, I have the people I want to serve, but then you must also find the right place. When all these things
Mm.
work together in synergy, you will live a phenomenal life. You will not just
Oh,
be a phenomenal person, you will really live a phenomenal life that is truly, truly in line with your purpose and destiny. So thank you so much for what you've just shared with us. I love it. So
thank
now we're going to ask you the first question about this topic of today, which is all about the power of reflection. From your own personal experience, what do
you.
you believe is the benefit we get of reflecting on
Mm.
the things that has occurred in the past, especially in the past 12 months of this
Mm.
year, and in our personal life and our professional life? What are the benefits we gain from actually reflecting on it?
Oh, yeah. Great question. By the way, I love your questions because you have a way of asking questions in a way that you pull the best out. So, a reflection is very important, and there are benefits, there are also disadvantages. But all I want to say is don't reflect to condemn yourself, and we are not on that. But I'm going to jump on the benefits immediately because sometimes when people reflect, they tend to look at what went wrong and then condemn themselves from that. So your perception has got to be healthy as you do reflection. So a few benefits. One, you reflect to identify what is it that was successful, because everybody knows when the year starts, we set goals, right? And then at the end of the year, we need to pause. Don't just jump into the new year with new goals, but identify what was successful. In other words, what did I do that went well? What did I do that was successful? And then you reflect to find out what is it that you learned from the previous 12 months. What are the lessons? And usually these lessons are packaged in the form of failure sometimes. They are packaged in the form of flops, hindrances. So you want to look at those as lessons. If you tried a project and it didn't go so well, what did you learn from that? So you don't only learn from what was successful, you also learn from what was not so successful. Another way, another benefit is you identify where to improve. So you look at what you were doing in every area, whether it was your health, your career slash business, your relationships, any other thing that you were involved in. Where can you improve moving forward? And you need to make time to find this out, because many times we get so busy and we are just moving on and moving on. But if we are not careful, we are going to find ourselves in a situation of a swing. You know, a swing that we used to play on? If you sit on a swing, there's a lot of movement that's playing and a lot of energy that you exert. But when you get off the swing, you will realize that you are still at the same place. But if you identify on the things that you need to improve, it's like hopping off the swing and then building a bridge where you are able to literally move from point A to point B. So in other words, you make a movement and you progress, and then you realize that, okay, by the time I stop, I'm no longer at point A, I'm now at point B. So that's what you want to do. Identify what you need to improve on. And another benefit is you identify what is it that you need to grow, because sometimes we have goals where we want to start some things. So you need to reflect and check out what are the things that I started in the past 12 months. And amongst the things that I started, what is it that I can now grow? For example, did you start any programs? Did you start in a new career? Did you just get on a new promotion? Did you start a new business? Did you start a health routine? What is it that you started that you realize you need to grow in the next year? Because you don't want to spend your life starting over and over and over. And then you also identify what is it that I need to delete. Because sometimes we can make a mistake of continuing with things that don't work or are no longer working. And then you also identify what do I need to maintain. There's a difference between maintaining something and growing it. So those are just some of the few benefits. And I always tell people, think of it mathematically. You know, we have a plus, a minus, a multiplication, and a division sign. So when you reflect, you identify, what do I need to add? What do I need to subtract? What do I need to multiply? And what do I need to subdivide so that, you know, I grow better? So in short, those are some of the benefits. There are many others, but I usually go with this. And I find that when you reflect, you are able to set better goals and become even more successful. Yeah.
Wow. It's so obvious she got a PhD. You can see how she just analyzed some of those things. I love the fact that you just said there is a plus sign, a minus sign, a multiplication sign, and a division sign. And of course, there are things that we need to take away because we can see that it's no more working or beneficial
Yeah.
for us. There are things we need to add on, because in life it's always good to acquire new skills, also
Yeah.
to be able to push our boundaries and, as they say, raise the bar in terms of our skill sets, our mindset, our heart set, our spiritual set, everything in life. It's all about evolving and growing. And I love the fact that, yes, there's some things that we probably need to divide, because our
Mm.
attention is divided anyway. We can't do everything at the same time. So we need to know how to be able to prioritize our focus and our energy. And then, of
Yeah.
course, which areas do we need to amplify by multiplying those things that we do in such a way that we can also reduplicate it, not just for
Mm.
ourselves, but in others as well, to be able to benefit from. Aptly said. Thank you so much for sharing those wonderful, wonderful
Mm.
benefits of reflection. And I guess many times, right, many reasons why some people don't like to look at what they've done in the past is
Mm.
because they are probably ashamed or
Yeah.
afraid to put
Yes.
that microscopic lens on themselves, because we live in a world whereby it's easier to blame others for the things that are not
Mm.
working, for the things that we feel like have derailed or didn't go
Mm.
according to plan, than to actually ask, did
Mm.
I do what I should have done? Could I have done things differently and stuff? So, what do you see as other reasons why people struggle to self assess? Because
Mm.
many times when you tell people to be brutally honest with themselves and appraise themselves in an honest manner, they tend not to want to do it. So, what do you see are the stumbling blocks, or what hinders people from
Mm.
being able to self assess?
Yeah, great question again. Merola, I have found that the challenge is informed by three key things amongst others. Number one, it's our mindset. Number two, our relationships. And number three, our environments. And I will explain what I mean. First of all, your mind. Our minds, our minds are very interesting because our minds want to function according to what they know. In other words, your mind will always work best with you as long as you give it what it is used to, good or bad. That is why some ladies jump from abusive relationship to the next abusive relationship, because the mind just wants what it is used to. So the challenge comes in where you identify that I need to grow, I need to enter a certain space, and that growth requires a mindset shift. And that is one of the first challenges, your mindset. Uh, you know, it's easier to stay in a toxic behavior because my mind knows that and it works best with me to do that. So when I change, it means I am challenging the status quo and I have to start thinking differently. And that's why there's a resistance. But over time, research says after 21 days, the mind starts to
Mm,
embrace the change. So that transition period is the reason why people bounce in and out all the time. Once they reach a place where they're supposed to break out, they just go back to what they are
yeah.
used to. So that's the challenge with the mindset. And then number three, your relationships. People like you the way you are. So the day you decide to change, it's a problem for them. Whatever that you
Right
are
on.
today and whoever you have in your life is simply because they like what you are. So the day you say, I want to change, I want to grow, I want to study, I want to buy a house, I want to be a better person, what are you doing? You are tampering with people's comfort zone with you. That's why a
Yes.
lot of times we experience rejection from some people when we want to change. And we are also a problem because we don't want to let go of those people. We love those people, but those people don't love our destiny. They don't love our best selves. So that is
Mm-hmm.
usually a challenge where you have to navigate yourself through these relationships and understand that you need to let go of some so that you can reconnect with others. But in the
Yes.
process of letting go, people are scared of loneliness because you can't have yesterday people and tomorrow people in the same space. So that's usually a challenge. We don't want to let go of the relationship. And unfortunately, you can't have destiny and yesterday relationships. So that is usually, it's a tug of war. I love these
Yes.
people, but I also love my destiny. And lastly, it's your environment. Your environment is conducive. Your current environment is conducive for what you are currently. So the minute you say, I want to be better, your environment initially does not accommodate that. So you have to also work on your environment. For example, if I can use myself as an example, Merola, I've had to reach out to people internationally because what I was looking for was not in my comfort zone in my South
Yeah.
Africa that I love so much. I've had to reach out to you, for example, all the way in Nigeria, because who you are, and what you stand for relates and resonates well with my destiny. So if we can succeed with our mindset, succeed in our relationships, and succeed in our environment, and ensure that there is synergy across these three, we will be able to be successful. But usually these three, obviously not limited to these three, but these are usually places where we experience hindrance, towards our success.
You have said it all, sister. You have said it all. I really, really, for the first time, I couldn't add anything extra to what you just said because those three things that you mentioned are just spot on. Mindset, relationships, as well as our environment, so key. Because many times we can have the right mindset, we can have the right people around us, but
Mm,
our environment can be limiting. Our environment just doesn't fit anymore into our next level. And
yes.
because of the fact that we all are comfortable being where we are and feel more suited for, it's so difficult to be able to take that leap of faith and say, oh, I need to go to this place instead. So I'm grateful for technology that
Mm,
we have now because in the past, Ntabela, we would not have been able to have access to people from different parts of the world without having to leave our comfort zone and travel
yeah, we are a bit frozen. Yeah. Merola did make me aware that, we will have some technology challenges, but we'll just wait for her to be back for us. We're just having some Wi-Fi challenges there. Yeah, so as I said, Mirola did say that we will have some Wi-Fi because she's in Nigeria. I'm all over here. So I'm just going to add a few things until she gets back on. Um, okay, she's okay. Mirola, you're back. I see you're back.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Apologies for that, everybody. The network just suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, I did tell them, you are in Nigeria. I'm all over here in South Africa. So it does happen. So we're good now.
Yeah, so that was crazy ass connection. So I was saying that technology has given us the ability to be able to connect with people now without necessarily having to leave our physical environment. But we
Yeah.
need to allow our minds to expand to the fact that sometimes what we want or what we need is not available locally, and to
Mm,
be able to seek for help
yes.
externally, beyond our current environment, beyond what we see, beyond what we
Mm,
know, beyond what we're comfortable with. And sometimes it
mm,
might take somebody from a completely different culture, a completely different
yes.
religious group, a completely different way of thinking to be able to pull us out of
Yes.
that state of comfort that we're so used to. So getting to
Mm,
become uncomfortable is something that we need to do. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable will help us to keep growing.
Wow.
I think looking forward to 2022, we need to get our uncomfortable muscle to grow,
Sure.
because I call
Wow.
it growing pains. When a child is younger and needs to grow in terms of the limbs and everything else, they go through growing pains for their benefit. We don't like pain as human race. We want everything to come to us easy, nice, and stuff. So we need to start to understand that pain is not necessarily a bad
Hmm.
thing. It can
Hmm.
bring about a new level of growth and insight and dimensions into our lives that we would never have
Wow.
if we didn't go through that pain as well. We're both mothers. We know we went through some pains, right? Birthing
Oh yeah.
pains to be able to bring about new life. Birthing pain will bring about a new lease of life for us in 2022. So don't be scared when you face challenges. Don't be
Mm,
scared when some difficulties come in your
mm,
relationships, in even in your mindset. You will have to challenge your beliefs. You will have to
mm,
challenge the things you're so comfortable doing and ask yourself, can I do more? And if
mm,
I need to push through beyond what is necessarily comfortable for me, I'm going to have to do it, because knowing that that pain, that
mm,
stretching is going to bring about a transformation that
mm.
cannot occur without me actually putting myself in that experience. So we need that stretching, growing pains, and birthing pains to be able to bring about the new and the unfamiliar into our lives.
Oh yeah. Wow. I love what you said about the muscle of discomfort. We need to work
Mhm.
on that because that is so key. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because many of us are not resilient. I see some of us.
Mm,
So I will add that resilience is something that we're going to need to work on. And also
right.
this attitude of conforming. Many of us have
Yes.
conformed to the point whereby we've lost our sense of true identity and
Yeah.
authenticity. We've lost our self-expression. We're not able to say
Yes.
things that we know
Mm,
we ought to say because we're constantly feeding, running a loop in our head that if I say it this way, is Nthabeleng going to
mm,
like it? Will she think of me funny? And stuff like that. And once you start to doubt yourself, you start to
mm.
lose the power of your creativity. You start to
Yes.
lose the power of your voice and authenticity. And before you know it, you are not someone that is easily identifiable in the crowd. You are not someone that people are going to be able to say that I want to hear what he or she says. You can't be an authority figure if you're afraid to say what you need to say. You know, we
Mm,
see it in all spheres of life. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you're in a religious
mm.
setting, whether you're in an organization, whatever it is. Many people don't want to have this disruptive
Yes.
mindset and attitude to say that, even if it's not popular, even if it's not what the people want to hear, even if it's not what people think they need right now, I am going
Mm,
to ensure that I say and do what I believe in and be true to
mm,
myself, be true to my core values, be true to whatever I feel is necessary for the time and season to be able to bring about
mm,
change. And that comes from the power of self assessment and reflection. Because when you look back and see some times whereby you kept quiet
mm,
when you should have spoken up, you say to yourself that next time when I'm put in such a situation, I'm going to speak up. But you won't be able
mm.
to know that if you don't assess yourself, if you don't reflect back. For those of us that are chronic people pleaser,
True.
we need to be able to also say that where should I start to set boundaries in place to say that I'm
Mm,
doing things for other people to the point that they are benefiting, but I am losing out so much of who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing, because we need to be able to understand that we cannot help everybody. And there are
yeah.
some things we just have to say no to for the greater good and for
Mm,
ourselves. So we have to understand the place of,
mm,
saying no, to be able to say not right now, to be able to say maybe next time, and not just always be quick to say yes, and not always be quick to say that, oh, I can do it, because we
mm,
might end up running ourselves ragged and then losing power physically, mentally, in all types of resources that we have, and then we get derailed from actually doing
mm.
what we've been called to do. because we're constantly putting our heads in other people's businesses. We're trying to
Oh yeah.
be the savior and the hero. We're always trying to help other people. We're always trying to be this person that is, so because of our love for others, we tend to now
Yes.
forget that we have to also focus on our own things as well. So I believe that setting boundaries and prioritizing what we want to do and who we do it with in the year to come is going to be so key for us, because when we reflect, we might see pockets of space that we've missed out on and time that we've wasted because
Hmm.
we did not prioritize rightly.
Awesome. I'm taking notes already, Merola. Like I'm taking notes for myself. That's what I love about you. Like so much wisdom that's coming out of you. Yeah.
It's so key. So I will also want you to just share a word of advice for people right now, because we are right now in the Christmas week, right? And if we look
Mm,
around us, not everyone is excited. Not everyone is filled with the Christmas spirit of joy.
mm.
Some people are worried about the next meal. Some people are like, I'm not even sure I'm going to have a house to live in come January. Some people are worried about being able to pay their bills and have water in the house. Whatever it is right now, what word would you like to share with the people out there that are like, oh, Dr. Ntabi, I don't have time to be reflecting on the year past. I'm so in the now of all the things that are not working for me. What would you like to say to them to get them to have the right mindset and attitude for them to drag themselves out of this conundrum of despair that they find themselves in?
Great question again, Merola, especially now during this time of the year, because the festive season or the
Mhm.
Christmas season is a time for family. And for
That's
some
right.
people, the whole thought and concept of family is a nightmare because others maybe have just gone through broken relationships, others have been abused, others have let down their family members, or vice versa. Others want to run away from their families. So this is a can be a difficult time. Like you go in a store, you go in a mall, there's this festivity and family. It's a time of relationships. And not only that, but also, what do I have now? Do I have what I'm
Mhm.
supposed to have? And so on, as you've clarified. So I will really encourage people to do a few things. Number one, identify what that struggle is. Don't numb the pain
That's right.
before identifying what that pain is. What is your struggle? And face it. Uh, I'm sure you've realized this, and many others probably have. A lot of people, for example, who engage in substance abuse is because they're trying to numb the pain of
That's right.
what they are not willing to face. So, what are you struggling with? And next to that, I want to challenge people to also identify the root cause, because many times we think we are solving problems, but we are just dealing with the fruits. We're
Mm.
just dealing with the result of what the actual cause is. And it might require you to seek therapy for some of you, depending on how intense your struggle is. And reach out. Sometimes we are so ashamed of our struggles. Find somebody you trust, either your pastor, a trusted friend, or even a professional. Sometimes we make a mistake of taking our vulnerabilities to people who don't have capacity to contain what we are bringing to them. But at the end of the day, you cannot die alone. You cannot
That's right.
afford to keep looking good and you are dying inside. I know you might have been disappointed by some people, but it's not everybody who will disappoint you. We are not all devils. We don't all hate you. Some hate you and some love you. So don't
That's right.
disqualify others who will love you simply because others hated you or didn't do you good. It's even more difficult when you are the source, when you are the one who did all these things to yourself. But all I'm saying is reach out, find somebody to talk to. And then also prioritize these struggles. If you're struggling with alcohol, you're struggling with obesity, you're struggling with your studies, you're struggling with your marriage, break them down. Sometimes you can't solve everything at once. That's why I
Yes.
said identify the root cause. I'm reminded of a story in the Bible. Remember that woman who touched the hem of Jesus? She was
That's right.
bleeding, but her bleeding led to financial loss. It
That's
led
right.
to social isolation. It led to poor self esteem, and so on and so forth. So, when you can tap into that space where you identify the root cause, you will realize that it will also have a ripple effect. So, you want to make sure that you touch something that will positively affect others. So, prioritize your struggles and deal with them accordingly. And then you also need to identify what and who is going to help me with what. And
Yeah.
be kind to yourself. I cannot overemphasize this, especially as women. We tend to set such high expectation of ourselves and we feel like horrible moms. We are bad wives. We've not been good colleagues. It's so easy for us to condemn ourselves. And I always say to women, be kind to yourself. Have me time. Sometimes what you just need is rest so that you
Mm-hmm.
regain your strength and are able to face your struggles. But all I'm saying is face that, identify that, talk about it, talk to somebody. Social media is the worst place to go to with your struggles, but find a private space where you can talk to somebody that can be able to walk you through the journey. My heart goes out to all the people, men and women, young and old. We go through things. And I just want to say, you are not alone. There are people who can be here for you. And of course, I cannot rule out prayer. If you're from faith based background, prayer is important. The word of God is important, but understand that God also uses people. So find the God people that you can connect with and take it from there. Merola is here, I'm here, and others are here as well. So it's important to reach out to Merola.
Thank you so much for what you shared. Honestly, as you were just speaking, there was just only one extra thing I felt like I needed to add to that list of things that people can do, especially when they're struggling, because you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned all the specific points. So the only thing I want to add to what Dr. Ndabi said is that let's also stop making excuses.
Mm,
When we are in our struggle, when we're in our pain, we tend to make a lot of excuses and say, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that.
mm.
And that's the
Yes.
reason why this power of reflection and self assessment is also important. We need to be able to critically analyze and say that maybe I am the problem. Maybe it's my attitude that is the problem. I have an issue with alcohol. I have
Hmm.
an issue with being a spendthrift, and that when money comes my way, I'm not able to use the money in a way that is prudent. And that's why I find myself in financial difficulties
Yes.
over and over again. Let's stop making excuses. Let's stop trying to find external things or other people to be the reason why we're going through struggles. And that is what also holds us back from finding the solution until, just
Mm.
as she said, what is the root cause? That root cause, identify it and own it. Don't make
Yes.
excuses for it. Just own it
Mm,
and say that,
mm,
yes, I can clearly see that it's because I am too proud. So when I found myself in this situation, I was not willing to ask people for help. I was not willing to share my vulnerability of my situation with other people that could have afforded to help me,
mm,
just because I wanted to maintain the status quo of being
mm.
outwardly successful, but internally I'm struggling. So
Wow.
many times we make so many excuses.
Mm.
Sometimes people are out there willing to help you, but you just refuse to give them that leeway to assist you. If I ask Dr. Nthabeleng, how are you, my darling? Is everything okay? And she goes, oh, yes, everything is wonderful.
Mm.
I'm just going to assume everything is wonderful. But she
Yes.
can say that things are good, but honestly, I'm struggling in this
Mm.
area. When she shares that problem with me, when they say a problem shared is a problem half solved, I will
Woo.
be able to look at it from an external point of view. Why? Because we all have blind spots. I might
Yes.
be able to see what she is not seeing. I might be able to hear what she is not hearing and be able to give her the kind of necessary advice that she needs at that
Mm,
point in
mm,
time that will help her to dig herself out of the hole.
mm,
Many of us, we don't want people to know we're struggling. We don't want people to
mm,
see that we are inadequate in certain areas. So we prefer to have this facade that everything is good, everything is all right. Some of us hide behind all our certifications and all our degrees, but then we don't want to show our level of ignorance in some
mm,
areas. But there's no big
mm,
deal in saying, look, I am a poor financial manager. I am intelligent in this area or that area, but this area, I just don't know what to do. Can you help
mm.
me? Stop making
Yeah.
excuses. Some will use their ailments as an excuse. Oh, it's because I can't speak good English. Oh, it's because I have a bad back. Oh, it's because
Mm,
I'm from a tribe that never amounts to anything in life. Excuses, excuses, excuses. It's not going to get you far in life. It's not going to help you to redress what you need to do in 2022 and going forward.
mm.
Stop making excuses. Find the root cause of your problem and own it, and then
Yes.
promise yourself that you will do whatever
Mm,
it takes to
mm.
course correct. Because
Wow.
once you can make up your mind to say, this thing shall no longer have a stronghold on me, I'm not going
Yes.
to empower it anymore, you have broken the bondage of that thing in your life. And you will
Mm,
start to be able to move forward. We all have struggles. Nobody's
mm,
life is perfect.
mm,
Every single person you see in this world, even those that you feel have achieved almost insurmountable greatness in life, they still have
mm.
struggles. They still have challenges, but it's their attitude towards how they face the challenge that makes the difference. Don't be someone that is living in excusesville. Tell
Mm,
yourself, no more excuses. I will give none and I will take none because I'm going to move my life forward and do whatever it takes to get me out of this phase I'm in because it's only for a while. It's not permanent. It's not the end of the world. It's just for a while. How long that while is up to you. So make sure you make it as short as possible, a pit stop in your life, so that you can move on to greater and higher things that the Lord has in store for you.
wow. That's brilliant. I love that. Stop making excuses. And excuses have a way of deceiving us because they give us temporary
Mhm.
false sense of being okay. And that
That's true.
actually worsens our situation. So I love that, Merola. That's brilliant. Mm.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Oh my God, it's already an hour past. I told you guys, if you leave Dr. Nthabeleng and I, we can spend the entire 2 hours and stuff just going on and on and on. So, guys, this has been amazing, right? Please share with me in the comments. Is there anything that you people feel like this has been time that you've wasted or have you gained value? Please give us the feedback so I can share it with Dr. Nthabeleng on the screen because she has been absolutely phenomenal. The answer she's given to every question that I've asked her has been so inspiring and thought
Mm,
provoking. And I believe that no matter where you are at in life, no matter what level of discomfort or comfort you are at, you would have gained something today from watching this show. Something would have been able to trigger either a new way of thinking or a new way of being for you that
yeah.
you can go back and start to work on. Because honestly, we all have areas in which we need to work on. We all have our
Mm,
weaknesses, we all have our strengths, we all
mm,
have different threats that occur
mm,
to us becoming the next best version of ourselves. And we need to be able to discover what they are and then come up with ways to be able to mitigate those things from derailing us. So right now, I'm just going to go into the fun segment where I'm going to ask Dr. Nthabi some questions and then it's fun questions that we keep in the show. If there's any question that anybody still has in their mind and they want it answered, this is your moment. Type it, and the first person that drops that question, I will give it to Dr. Ntabi before we end the show. Okay. So, Dr. Nthabi, the first question I want to ask you is, what is your favorite color?
Oh, fun. I actually have two. Orange, which is what I have now. I love orange. It's sunshine, it's life. It just lights me up, you know. So yeah, I love orange, but I also love red. For red, a color of love, a color that is warm.
I
So
wear
I
your
love
color for
orange
you.
and red. Yeah, I wouldn't wear them together. I love them separately. Yeah, but orange is my number one favorite color. Yeah.
Awesome. See? And I wore your red for you to
Oh
to
yeah.
maybe you see?
Oh, that's so
Just
cool.
joking. I actually put on red because I was like, oh, this is Christmas week. So next week,
Oh.
Christmas is already over. So let me put on red to celebrate the Christmas week. So, what is your favorite food? So, you can share one local dish from South Africa and then an intercontinental dish as
Okay. Yes, I do have a favorite dish from here. It's sam with stew. And I'm hoping that one day when I have you in South Africa, because you need to come, we'll have you try our sam and stew. Oh, it's divine. It's excellent. There's a salad that I love. I call it a summer salad. I make it with strawberries, baby
well.
spinach, red onion, and I throw in some pineapple in there, avocado, and cucumber, and then
Mm.
drizzle some lime juice in there. Divine. So when you come, you have to have some stew, beef stew with my salad.
I'm
Perfect. Any day.
already, my mouth is watering in anticipation already. As in, let's get going to South Africa and go try some Sam stew and summer salad. Come on now. All right.
Yeah, you have to come. I'll make it for you.
Awesome. That's great. Okay. So there are so many personalities out there in the world that inspire us. So if I was to ask you, that you get the opportunity to spend 2 hours one on one with a personality out there anywhere in the world, which personality would you pick?
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. A personality I would have loved to spend time with has actually passed on. Our Nelson Mandela, who is our icon. I really don't know anyone who has been more selfless,
Mm,
more influential, and more considerate more than
wow.
him. I That's like one person I would have loved to spend some time with. But then I also love Oprah Winfrey. And I know a lot of people would want to come for me and say, but what about this that she does? What about this that she doesn't do? But I love how she has been able to pioneer in spaces where women,
Hmm.
especially women of color, were not able to. So she has set a great example of showing us that we can also pioneer in different spaces where there's limitations, where there are glass ceilings. So she has just been a phenomenal example. And I love her consistency over time. You know, she has truly been consistent. She goes for what she believes in, whether you agree or you don't agree. So I love that spirit and
Absolutely.
that attitude. And I would love to add you on that list, you know. And
Wow.
I know God is gonna make it happen sooner than later. We have to meet, we have to connect and have conversations. Just one on one. I love, 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 love what you do. You are gifted. You are gracious. So that is just awesome. I love that.
Oh, thank you so much. You just made my day.
Uh,
Wow. I feel like a superstar.
you
Thank you
are.
so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, so there are so many books in this world that has transformed our lives and stuff. So I would love you to share what are your top three books that you've read this year, 2021, that you knew were standout books that really
Okay.
helped you.
Okay. Right. So Merola is a bit
And
frozen.
end this year with what would the
Yeah.
title be?
Okay, brilliant. I actually do have some here, and I would love to show people what I have read that I love. So I have this one, okay, and it's
Wow,
leadership
I love the
when
title
the
already.
heat, yeah, leadership when the heat is on, and
I
it's
love the chili pepper, as in fire, fire hot.
yes, and it's written by Danny Cox with John Hoover. I love this book, and I'm continuing to read it because we are actually living in that time. The heat is on. The pandemic has added
Mm,
to that heat that we have found ourselves in. So I love that book. And I love this book. It's written by one of our professors. Um, he's a professor, Professor Solomon Makula, a professor at the University of Central University of Technology, and it's 70 women and one man. And I love these kinds of books
let's go.
because you are bringing different individuals, and every one of them is like a lesson to learn
Come
from.
on.
And I love that. And then the other book is not here on my desk, but it's called Package Your Genius. It's a book on personal
That is
branding.
in my zone.
Yeah, written by, what's her name, Amanda. Amanda, is one person who has really written so well on personal branding. So one of her books is one of my resources that I go to. That's just, one of the three that I have read this year, and they just continue to impact me so much.
Fantastic. So, what would your book be called if you wrote the book?
I am actually busy with one, and it is a book on personal branding. And I'm actually working with my coach, to see what we should call this book, but it's going to be a five-step approach towards building your personal brand. So we will come up with that spicy name. Us in branding, we have to have that catchy title, but
Yep.
it's going to be a framework that I'm going to be helping people with, to help them build their personal brand. So it should be out sometime in March next year. And I'm hoping that when we have our seminar that I'm so excited about, and you are one of my speakers, that we'll start talking about the book. And you also have a book coming up. So brilliant, incredible. Yeah. So that's that. I'm writing that book, and I'm excited about it. Looking forward to, the impact that it's going to have.
Awesome. My book is actually out. It's been out since last year, June. So, my book is already out there. The book on personal branding has been out for about over a year now. So, that's also available for
Oh,
people to buy
wow.
anywhere in the world. Yeah. So, it's been out since last year. So, you see, there's an
Okay.
interesting question here. How old is Dr. Nthabi? Somebody wants to know. Morake Benny says, how old are you? She is interested.
I'm 43, 43. You know, I
Wow, you're the same age
yeah.
as me. We're the same
What?
age.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh my
this
God.
is
This
so
is amazing. Another
interesting.
thing we have in
We
common.
honestly, we're both 1978 babies.
Wow. Which month?
Awesome, 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 awesome. So now, final question before we end the show is, you know how it is that we all have a finite time on this earth. So we all need to have a legacy statement that people will remember us by. We are all remembering Nelson Mandela now for the things he did while he was here. So,
Mm.
what would your legacy statement be that people should remember you by long after you've left your footprints on this earth?
Okay. Um, Empowered to fulfill potential authentically. That's what I'm about. I am that midwife of dreams, a midwife of visions. That's my assignment. I'm like Naomi in the Bible. Naomi was so instrumental in ensuring that Ruth fulfills her potential authentically. The book is
Mm-hmm.
even named after Ruth. So I'm not really after the limelight, but I want to help others get the limelight on themselves so that they're able to shine for the glory of God. So I would love to be remembered as somebody who was instrumental in empowering others to ensure that they truly succeed in their assignment in life or actualize potential, as you would have it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much,
What
Dr.
about you,
Nthabeleng.
Merola? I'm
Oh,
interested.
mine. Oh, gosh.
Your legacy.
My legacy, very simple. Mine is simple. Herein lies the woman who ensured that everyone she came in contact with was a beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece. So that's my legacy.
Awesome. Totally beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to every single person that has joined us from all parts of the world. We've had viewers from Jamaica, South Africa, Nigeria, from Gambia. Oh my God. I am truly, truly blessed that you guys spent this hour and 16 minutes with us today with Dr. Nthabeleng, where we've been talking about power reflection and self assessment. We want to say a big thank you to all of you. We also want to use this medium to wish you all a Merry Christmas in advance and tell you that the reason for the season is Jesus Christ. And because he came, he did not
Mm,
just come merely to live, he came that you might have abundant life. We
mm.
are praying for you that that abundant life will become a reality for you
Yes.
before this year is over in the name of Jesus.
Mm.
Whatever
Yes.
it is that you desire, the Lord will bring it to come to pass in your life. You will end this year on a great note. You will not lack any good thing. You will not be depressed. You will not be disappointed. And you will not be derailed from your ordained destiny. Why? Because God has a plan for you. God is
Mm,
still God and is still interested in you prospering and being in good health. God wants to see you elevated and fulfilling destiny. Don't let anyone speak negativity into your life. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not enough. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't make
mm.
it. I am
Yes.
speaking life into you right now. I am causing every root that is not planted by God in you to say that
Mm,
whatever has held you back from reaching your highest heights in this 2021, in the remainder of these days, there will be a multiplication of effects that will come to work in life for you so that you will start to see progress. Everything that you thought was dead in your hand will rise up again like dry bones and receive fresh life in the name of Jesus. I pray for you that where you are hurting, that you cannot speak to any man, or God is listening to you right now. Reach out to him, share your pain with him, and let him cover you with his healing balm and restore you to being whole. This Christmas, you will be full of joy. Nothing would impede you from being able to truly express the goodness of God in your life. And then, of course, as you step boldly into the new year, you will see yourself soaring high like an eagle because you are truly a beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece. You have what it takes.
wow.
Believe it, own it, and walk in it in the mighty name of Jesus. It's been an honor serving you today, doing what I've been called to do,
Mm,
inviting prominent, wonderfully blessed human beings like Dr. Nthabeleng Rammile to share with you from the depths of wisdom and knowledge that they have. Please reach out to her on her social media platforms on Facebook and also on Instagram. Invite her to come and speak at your events. Work with her as a coach and don't hold back from investing in yourself. Why? Because you are the greatest treasure that you possess. Believe it and also do the best you can because you have what it takes. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Mbele, and last words before we end.
Oh, wow. I just want to appreciate you for believing in me to be here. To me, it tells me that you are a woman of faith because you just followed the prompting of the Spirit. You didn't ask me to send me my resume or anything to prove anything. So I will always honor you for that. I love you. I appreciate you. And I embrace you one more time as my sister in destiny, my sister in Christ. And I thank God that you're from Nigeria because, you know, Nigerian women are powerful women, very confident, intercessory powerhouses. So I thank God for you. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Thank you for taking your precious time. And I believe that something has been dropped, and I want to encourage you to take that, work with it, so that you are able to see the ultimate result. It's not enough to say it was a nice show, it was
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Power is only when the results manifest. So there's some
That's right.
work to go and do. And I also recommend Merola highly. Check her out on her website, check her out on social media, check her out on YouTube. You will love her. You will love her. And in February, she will be with me on board, and together with Cheryl, we are having a personal brand, an international personal brand, the first of its kind that we've ever organized. And I love all of you. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, I want to say have a fantastic Monday and the rest of the week. And don't forget that this is the season to be joyful. Joy is a state of being. No one can take your joy from you if you own it yourself. Fill yourself up with joy. See the positive in life, and trust me, you will attract more positive things to you. Have a great day and a fantastic, phenomenal week ahead. And once again, Merry Christmas to you in advance from Dr. Nthabeleng and I. And take care. Bye bye, everybody. God bless
Bless you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.